Welcome back to my GH Fans channel. Fans, I'm literally shaking right now because the writers over at General Hospital are playing with my heartstrings, and honestly, they're playing with Curtis's life too. We got to talk about this car wreck because everyone is looking at Jordan, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is paying enough attention to my man Curtis. It's like, okay, we see the blood on Jordan, we see her back of the head trauma, we see the doctors freaking out, but what about the guy who was actually in the driver's seat? Or, well, in the thick of it? I'm telling you, this is classic GH. They distract you with a big flashy injury so they can hit you with the silent killer later on. Straight up, Jordan is in a bad way. The head trauma, the bleeding, she's in surgery and it's touch and go. But I've been watching this show long enough to know that when someone walks away from a car that almost exploded thanks to Valentine and Carly, who I guess are just the neighborhood rescue squad now, it's never that simple. Curtis got pulled out of that wreck by Carly and Valentine, and he seemed okay. Like, he was awake, he was talking, he was worried about his ex-wife, but man, he was out cold for a minute when the crash first happened. That right there, that's the red flag. That is the huge, waving, something is wrong flag that the show is trying to hide under the rug. I'm sitting here thinking, how many times have we seen this? A character acts like a hero, refuses the gurney, says I'm fine, just take care of her, and then boom, they're the ones who end up on the flat line. I'm honestly so annoyed that the medics didn't just strap him down right then and there. Like, yo, he was in a vehicle that was about to turn into a fireball. You don't just walk that off with a headache. Now, enter Auntie Stella. You know I love Stella. She is the backbone, the glue, the lady who sees through all the BS in Port Charles. She rolls into the hospital looking for answers. She's there for Curtis, sure, but she wants the tea on Jordan too. Despite all the history, Jordan is family, or was family. It's complicated, right? But Stella has that auntie sense. She looks at Curtis, and she's probably thinking, he looks like 10 miles of bad road, but Curtis is so focused on Jordan. He's sitting there in that waiting room, those uncomfortable plastic chairs. Man, I hate those hospital waiting rooms. They make everything feel 10x more depressing, and he's just fading. I've been doing some thinking about the medical side of this because GH loves a good medical mystery. There's this thing called a lucid interval. It's real life stuff, not just soap opera drama. It's when you get a head injury, you might lose consciousness for a second, then you wake up and feel totally fine. You're talking, you're alert, you're telling everyone to back off. But meanwhile, inside your skull, it's a literal ticking time bomb. I think that's exactly what's happening with Curtis. He's got that internal bleeding, a slow leak, an intracranial hemorrhage that's just building up pressure while he's worrying about Jordan. So Stella is talking to him, asking about the surgery, and I bet you Curtis starts getting real quiet. Maybe his words start slurring a bit, or he gets that glassy look in his eyes. I can see it now. Stella is mid-sentence, maybe complaining about Port Charles traffic or something, and Curtis just slides. Right off the chair. Can you imagine the panic? Stella screaming for a nurse. Help! My nephew! And suddenly the stable one is the one coded blue. It's so tragic because he spent all his energy making sure Jordan was okay. He totally ignored his own body. And that's a lesson for us too, honestly. Like, seriously, if you're ever in a wreck, get the CT scan. Don't be a hero. Adrenaline is a liar, y'all. It masks the pain so you can survive the moment. But once that adrenaline drops, the reality of the injury hits like a freight train. And let's talk about Isaiah. We've been seeing more of him, and I have a feeling he's about to become the MVP of this storyline. If Curtis has a skull fracture, which I totally think he does, probably on the side of his head that hit the window or the B-pillar of the car, he's going to need emergency neurosurgery. And who's the guy? Isaiah. I'm calling it now. Isaiah is going to have to step up and save Curtis while Jordan is still under the knife in the next room over. The drama! The tension! I really feel for Stella in this moment. She's already been through so much with this family. To see her grandson, nephew, whatever, they're all so close, just drop like that. It's going to break her. But she's got to stay strong. She's the one who's going to have to make the calls if Curtis can't speak for himself. I'm also wondering, where is everyone else? Port Charles feels so empty sometimes when a crisis hits. But maybe it's better this way. Just Stella, the doctors, and the ticking clock. I'm really hoping they don't drag this out too long, But then again, it's a soap opera. They're going to milk every single drop of will he or won't he survive they can get. But back to the medical thing, this is what I mean by the talk and die syndrome. It sounds scary because it's IS. It's when someone seems fine after a head hit and then they just don't wake up. It usually happens with epidural hematomas. You get a fracture, it tears an artery, and the blood fills up the space between the brain and the skull. Since the skull can't expand, the brain gets squished. It's grisly, I know, but GH thrives on this. And for Curtis, who has already survived being shot and being paralyzed, man, this guy cannot catch a break. Like, can we just let the man have a nice dinner at the Metro Court without almost dying for once? I'm also low-key mad at Valentine and Carly. Like, I get it, you saved him from the fire, cool. But why didn't you insist he get checked out? Carly has been around enough trauma to know better. And Valentine, that man has seen everything. They should have known. But I guess if they did their jobs right, we wouldn't have this spicy drama, would we? So, I'm predicting a massive cliffhanger. Stella is going to be standing over Curtis, Isaiah is going to be rushing him into the OR, and we're going to have to wait through a weekend to find out if he makes it. It's going to be one of those stay tuned moments that makes me want to throw my remote at the TV. I really hope the writers give Stella some heavy scenes here. Vernie Watson is a legend, and she can play the terrified but holding it together vibe better than anyone. I want to see her confront the doctors. I want to see her pray. I want to see that raw emotion because that's why we watch GH. We watch it for the family, the heart, the stakes. And what about Jordan? If she wakes up and finds out Curtis is in surgery because he was too busy worrying about her, that's going to spark some serious feelings. Are we looking at a reunion? Is this the near-death experience that brings them back together? I know some fans are Team Porsche, but man, the history with Jordan and Curtis is just so deep. It's messy, it's real. Let's be real. The internal bleeding trope is a classic for a reason. It allows the character to be a hero right up until the moment they can't be anymore. Curtis is the ultimate protector. He wouldn't have it any other way. But at what cost? I'm also thinking about the pacing of the show. Sometimes things move so slow, but this feels like it's going to hit fast. 1 minute they're talking in the hall, the next it's a code blue over the intercom. I can almost hear the beeping of the monitors, the chaotic energy in the hospital, the nurses running. GH always does hospital chaos really well. I want to hear from you guys though. Do you think I'm reaching? Do you think Curtis is actually fine and just tired? No way, right? I mean, he literally unconscious during the crash. You don't just wake up from that and go, I'm good, fam. That's a concussion at the very least, and with the way he's been acting, it's worse. I'm also keeping an eye on Isaiah. I think he's going to be a big player in the Astrid family orbit after this. If he saves Curtis, he's basically a god to Stella, and we know Stella likes to play matchmaker. Maybe, no, let's not go there yet. Let's just get Curtis through the surgery first. Honestly, the way they've been writing Curtis lately has been a bit, I don't know, stagnant. This might be exactly what the character needs to shake things up. A real brush with death that isn't about a villain or a shooting, but just a tragic accident. It grounds the show. It makes it feel like these things could happen to anyone. Well, anyone who drives a car in Port Charles, which is apparently the most dangerous city in America, seriously, the insurance rates in that town must be through the roof. Wait, did I mention the blood? GH has been getting a little bit more graphic lately with the injuries. When Jordan was pulled out, she was a mess. If Curtis is bleeding internally, we might not see it, but we're going to see the results. The pallor of his skin, the sweat, they're going to make him look rough. And I am here for the performance. Taj Bello, TJ, is probably going to be involved too. Imagine having to see your uncle like that while you're trying to be a professional doctor. The layers. I'm worried for our boy. Curtis has been through the ringer, and Stella, she's the heart of the show for me. If she's scared, I'm scared. When she screams for help in that waiting room, I know I'm going to have chills. I'm looking at my notes here. I almost forgot to talk about the car. The car was supposed to be Jordan's, right? So if someone messed with it, Curtis was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or was it just a normal Port Charles accident? Either way, the impact was huge. The physics of a crash like that, when you're stationary or moving slow and get hit, the brain just rattles inside the skull. It's like a grape in a jar. Even if the jar doesn't break, the grape gets bruised. That's medical science 101, folks. Brain slosh. It's a technical term. Okay, maybe not. but you get what I mean. Anyway, I'm rambling because I'm just so hyped for these episodes. It's been a while since the storyline really grabbed me by the throat like this. I need to see how Stella handles this. I need to see Isaiah in action. I need to know if Jordan and Curtis are going to have some kind of shared recovery journey. Can you imagine them in side-by-side hospital rooms? Recovery is going to be long. It's going to be emotional. And you know Portia is going to be lurking around, feeling all sorts of ways about Curtis being so tied to Jordan again. The drama is delicious, y'all. It's absolute peak soap. I'm telling you, keep your eyes on the screen. When Stella shows up, don't blink. The moment Curtis goes down is going to be the moment everyone realizes how much they take him for granted. He's the strong one. He's the rock. When the rock crumbles, everyone else panics. And that's the educational takeaway for today. Don't ignore the symptoms. Even if you think you're fine, even if you're tough, your body has its limits. Curtis is about to find that out the hard way. And Stella is going to be the one to pick up the pieces. God, I love this show. Even when it drives me crazy. Even when the punctuation of my life feels as messy as a GH script. It's the characters, man. It's the history. So yeah, Stella at the hospital, Curtis collapsing, Isaiah with the save, Jordan in the balance. It's all coming to a head and I am 100% locked in. Are you? I'm going to go rewatch the crash scene and see if I can spot any more clues. Maybe there was a specific moment where Curtis hit his head that I missed. I'll keep you guys posted if I find anything else. But for now, just keep praying for the Ashfords. They need it. Seriously, if anything happens to Curtis, I'm going to have words with the writers. Big words. All caps words. Like, don't you dare. We need him in Port Charles. We need that Ashford energy. Okay, I think I've vented enough. But seriously, keep an eye on that lucid interval. It's the GH plot device of the year. Stella is the only one smart enough to catch it, even if it's by accident when he falls into her arms. Peace out, GH fans. Stay tuned, stay messy, and don't forget to check your blind spots, literally and metaphorically. This show is wild, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Man, I'm really thinking about that waiting room scene. Stella's face, the shock, the medical staff rushing in with the crash car. It's going to be iconic or heartbreaking. Probably both. That's just how GH rolls. I'm also wondering if this leads to some kind of permanent change for Curtis. Another health struggle. He's already dealt with the legs, now the head. It's a lot for one man. But if anyone can handle it, it's him. With Stella by his side, he's got a fighting chance. Anyway, I'm done. For real this time. Watch the episodes. Talk to me in the comments. Let's figure this out together. Is Curtis going to make it? Is Jordan going to wake up? Is Isaiah the new hero we didn't know we needed? So many questions. Talk soon, fans. Stay obsessed. I know I will. GH for life, y'all. Even when it's a total roller coaster of, oh my God, why is this happening? We love the pain. We love the drama. Bye for now. Catch you on the next update when we see if my predictions come true. I'm usually right about these things. Usually. We'll see. Hospital scenes. The beep, beep, beep. It's all I can hear now. Wait, did I mention the insurance thing again? No, seriously. Port Charles is a nightmare for cars. Anyway, peace. End of transmission. Actually, I'm still here, but you get it. Okay, one last thing. Watch Stella's eyes. She knows. She always knows. All right, I'm out. See ya.